Science asks big, challenging questions about the nature of the universe. Answering these questions often requires collaboration across scientific disciplines and national borders. But what happens when countries are isolated, at war, or just don't get along? What do the scientists do then? In some areas of science, it's impossible to do research without collaborating with another country. The United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, reported that in 2015, an average of 1 in 4 published scientific papers listed some form of collaboration with foreign scientists, and that number continues to grow. For instance, the high altitude, lack of atmosphere, and dry conditions in certain parts of Chile make it one of the best places on Earth to view activity in outer space. This is one reason that it is estimated by 2020, 70% of the global infrastructure for astronomical observation will be located in Chile. With the rest of the world's astronomers dependent on their facilities for sensitive measurements, good relations are critical if research in astronomy is to advance. But consider what happens if countries have a challenging political relationship. U.S. relations with Cuba, for instance, have been famously strained since the 1960s. While exchange of scientific information was never expressly forbidden, U.S. embargoes on everything from travel to trade between the two countries has made it difficult for Cuban scientists to access instrumentation and equipment that scientists outside of Cuba take for granted. This is because modern reagents and scientific equipment are often manufactured in or contain parts from the United States, which exempts them from sale to Cuba. Even with these challenges, Cuba is a superstar of science. They were the first country to receive validation from the World Health Organization for eliminating mother-to-child transmission of HIV, and their lung cancer vaccine was an early success for cancer immunotherapy. These innovations made formalized scientific collaboration between the US and Cuba politically more attractive. And in 2014, the American Association for the Advancement of Science and the Cuban Academy of Sciences signed a historic agreement to seek opportunities for sustained cooperation. In order for them to fulfill that promise, the two countries had to agree to work together. And this newfound scientific relationship coincided with a general easing of restrictions between the US and Cuba, including a relaxation of travel restriction and a historic visit to Havana by President Obama himself. But of course, 2016 feels like a long time ago, and the current US administration doesn't have the same approach to collaboration. So it remains to be seen if these agreements are allowed to continue. Where the public may perceive hostility, scientific collaboration still thrives because scientists find greater value in, well, science. In other parts of the world, international collaborations like the Human Genome Project and the particle accelerator SESAME in the Middle East, which includes unfriendly countries like Iran, Pakistan, and Israel, are pushing humanity's knowledge of the universe forward and creating havens of cooperation in a time of increasing nationalism. When it comes to highly visible international moonshot projects like CERN's Large Hadron Collider or the International Space Station, a project relying on cooperation between Russia, the United States, and others, the whole world is watching. The sheer scale of investment puts these massive collaborations in a delicate diplomatic position that can make them critical points of de-escalation and compromise in otherwise gridlocked negotiations. They can also inspire us to acknowledge that we're all just a bunch of humans stuck on a rock, racing around the sun at 67,000 miles per hour. And in the words of Louis Pasteur, science knows no country because knowledge belongs to humanity and is the torch which illuminates the world. As another example, we're working on a deep space gateway with Russia. Go here to learn more, and don't forget to subscribe for more science in your day. Did you know that during the Cold War, the US and USSR were working together for science? When the Soviet Union's Cosmos 936 mission launched in 1977, 7 US biological experiments were aboard. Thanks for watching.